way somehow, I listened to Star Chat. And I realized that at the end of the show, there was a segment that was called the mystery question. The mystery question asked Mr. Paul Adom Otchere a certain thing. The question to Mr. Paul Adom Otchere is as follows. Take a listen to this segment and we will address the matters and I'll tell you everything around it.
And now, the mystery question.
And the mystery question is, Paul?
It says, who among these three is your favorite morning show host and why? It has Bernard Avler, it has Kojo Yankson, and it has Niade Clegg. I will be a biased judge in the names that you've put across because Bernard Avler was a creation of something we put up at City FM, and we're essentially proud of him and the people who have come out of that training. So I'll be essentially biased towards Bernard. So you have to take Bernard out. If you take Bernard out, Robert Clark has been my good friend for a very long time. When I was in undergrad, I used to rely on his notes. He has one of the best handwritings that you can have. So I was very busy at Joy from all over the place, and I have to tell this story. And I know he might not like it, but I have to tell the story. So one day he called me up and said that, look, you're not here. There's an IA is an interim assessment. It's a sort of a test, and I wasn't there. Political science. Say you're not here. There's an IA. And I said, wow, I can't come. I'm in a press conference. What can you do for me? He said, okay, I'll see what I can do for you. When the IA results came, he had done better than me. And you understand? I mean, the guy did two papers.
So he wrote a paper for you?
No, it's just ticking. He just
no, but he represented you.
Sort of, yes. And he had done better than me.
Ade Clegg did that for you.
Yeah, so I looked at it and I said, but how did you do better than me? But Ade Clegg was a wonderful resource. You see, he's one of those that you can rely on when you are not at the lecture. And he can tell you exactly what happened at the lecture. And he has
between Kojo Yankson and Ade Clegg,
Ade Clegg I'm biased. Ade Clegg I'm biased. So you have to give me another list so that I can be fair.
Star 103.5 FM.
So you heard for yourself the question about three morning show hosts. I must say that, I mean, being a small boy in the morning show area, I consider it a really humbling moment that my name will be mentioned together with Bernard Avler and Kojo Yankson. That's the truth. I only just came. I'm only 1 year old. But that's not the issue. The issue is that Mr. Paul Adom Otchere was asked who his favorite is among these three names. As you know, Mr. Paul Adom Otchere did not answer the question. By that, I mean he did not choose a favorite, and he gave reasons for it. Now, the important bit is that integrity is everything. Your name and your reputation is absolutely important. So when I heard Mr. Paul Adom Otchere telling a lie live on radio that I had done the criminal act of writing an exam for him, Paul Adom Otchere, whilst writing it for myself as well, and an IA is an interim assessment. And for the record, Mr. Paul Adom Otchere was my classmate for first degree. My first degree, I went to Legon in the year 1997 to 2000 for 3 years. In my time, if you did A-levels like I did, and as Paul Adom Otchere did, we went to the University of Ghana for undergraduate degree for 3 years. So Mr. Paul Adom Otchere and I were classmates at the University of Ghana for our first degree. I've known him since 1997. Again, we were both in the political science class. I must put it on record that in our time, we did not take questions and answers. In our time, we wrote essays. In our time, essay was the order of the day. IA, it was impossible to take. So when Mr. Paul Adom Otchere says that I take answers for him, he's wrong. When he is right is that he says I was a good resource for him. I was. I always prepare notes and things like that for many people, including Mr. Paul Adom Otchere. That was my stock in trade. And many people remember me for it. I'd always do that. I mean, Mr. Paul Adom Otchere went to the law faculty a year before me. And the reason is that I didn't go to the law faculty with my mates. I went to work at the Institute of Economic Affairs for a year. So Paul Adom Otchere, Kimati Kwenye, and etc., who were my mates for undergrad, became my seniors by a year. But of course, that's for the law school. But of course, I caught up with him at some point, and we became mates, and then I left him behind. Mr. Paul Adom Otchere continued to benefit from my munificence, because when he had to take a resit in industrial law, which is a 1 year program, I summarized the whole course in 4 foolscap pages for him, and then he did very well in that resit. So we have a certain relationship. But I would never, for the life of me, go and write an exam for somebody. I mean, it's an IA, for crying out loud. And as I'm saying, you cannot take. So why does Mr. Paul Adom Otchere say that I ticked for him and ticked for myself and got a higher grade and things? I can't understand how fanciful anybody can get that way. And I'm talking about this because it is my reputation on the line. I think I should be worried. I think Star FM should be worried. I think that the EIB network generally must be worried. I think that my wife should be worried, and she is, which is a 1-year program. I summarized the whole course in 4 full-scale pages for him. And then he did very well in that research. So we have a certain relationship. But I would never, for the life of me, go and write an exam for somebody. I mean, it's an IA for crying out loud. And as I'm saying, you cannot tick. So why does Mr. Paul Adom Otchere say that I ticked for him and ticked for myself and got a higher grade and things? I can't understand how fanciful anybody can get that way. And I'm talking about this because it is my reputation on the line. I think I should be worried. I think Star FM should be worried. I think that the EIB network generally must be worried. I think that my wife should be worried, and she is. My mother should be worried. My family at large should be worried, because I have fought hard for 40 years of my life to keep some integrity. And I would never, everybody in the law faculty, people I used to lead in discussions will tell you that I will tell you that ask any question or let me do any research that you want. But during the exam, if you call me, I'll mind you. Because I don't want my paper to be cancelled. Integrity is what has led me all my life. So I called Mr. Paul Adom Otchere after the show a number of times. He did not respond. Then I called Bolore, the host of the show. Of course, I'm sure his phone was on silent. It took some time to get his attention. But by the time I got him, Paul had left. So I sent this text message to Paul Adom Otchere. It says, Paul, this is Robert Clegg. I have called your phone a few times after you told that scathing lie on Star Chat this evening. What were you trying to achieve with that false ascription of criminality to me? How could I have ticked answers for you in an IA when in our time we only wrote essays? Is that my thanks for giving you notes for peace signs and for summarizing industrial law notes at Makola to enable you to pass that receipt? I thought you spoke about being spiritual. Paul, why are you so evil? That's a text message I sent to Paul Adom Otchere. And then he sent a reply to me and said, I beg, at the call back. He followed up. He called me. At some point, I recorded the call. So I have his words, which is not aware of. I have the words of Paul Adom Otchere admitting to me in that conversation that he told a lie. I have it. And so I'm daring Mr. Paul Adom Otchere. He told me yesterday that he told a lie. And I have your words, Paul. I have it. I recorded the conversation. He followed up with another text message and said, I have just spoken to Bolare. He said he will get me on your show tomorrow, which is today. Which is today are my words. I am sure we can fix it, Robert. Really sorry. That's Paul Adom Otchere's message to me. Text message. So we've called him a number of times this morning and he has refused to pick up his call. Or he has failed. Or he has neglected. That's what lawyers say. Because I don't know for a fact the reason why he's not picking. But we have called him. Because it was his own decision that we should call him on the show today. He told us that I should call him and that he will clarify this. And I have a voice recording of Paul Adom Otchere asking me to call him today. And I have a voice recording of Paul Adom Otchere saying that he will mention this on his show tonight, which is Good Evening Ghana. But because I protect my integrity with all my heart, with all my soul, I don't want to be sitting here at Star FM and color this station black. Because if I am a man without integrity and I'll go to an exam room and a man is not present and I would go and take questions for him, etc., for him to do well, it means that I don't deserve to be in this chair. I'll be the first person to leave this place. I'll be the first to leave because I will not be qualified to be here. In Ghana, they say people don't resign. I believe I will resign if ever I find myself in any position where I put the integrity of the institution into question. I'm holding on to the conversation. I have the voice recording. And I've played it to people in this house already. So they know what I'm talking about. This morning, the conversation Paul Adom Otchere had with me. It's right here. I'm sure you probably want to hear it too. I'm thinking about it. It will be nice. And I'm getting messages where people are saying that he has to defend that allegation. And I totally agree. I completely agree. That's the first part of trending news. But it's an absolutely important part of the show. Why would anybody do that to somebody? Why? I've known Mr. Paul Adom Otchere longer than I've known many other people. And the same replies in reverse. I don't want to talk about the other things Mr. Paul Adom Otchere has said. That's a different platform. But to bring it onto live radio, it takes it to a different level. This is not the first time where he's put me up against people, pitting our heads against people and causing a fight and things like that. But those are on a private level, so I'll keep those there. But if you come and sit on radio and do this and say such a lie about somebody who is supposed to be your friend. In fact, in the discussion, Mr. Adom Otchere said he's known me for a long time. I'm a good friend of his or something. That is how he described me. So how then do you come on radio and come and tell such a lie about imputing criminality to me? There are many people who will not hear me this morning. There are many people who will not hear this response. There are many people who will never hear the voice recording I have of him. In fact, there are many people who will never hear him withdraw these words. Think about this. This is gone into history forever. There are people who will hear his voice, but will never hear my voice. If you do research, and I have a penchant for that, go to the BAM library, for example, go and look for the daily graphic of 40 years ago, 30 years ago. You can find a news article on page 14 and use it as the basis of your research. But maybe that story was withdrawn 2 days later. You may never know. Thank God. I have Mr. Paul Adom Otchere on the line. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Robert.
What do you have to say to me about this?
I have to sincerely apologize to you about this. And I have to apologize also to your family. And I have to make the point that during the interview yesterday, I made a point about you. During the last question, when the question was put to me about three of the morning show hosts in Accra, in discussing you, I had indicated that I had known you for a very long time. And I also indicated a certain matter about interim assessment at the University of Ghana. I had said that whilst I benefited from your notes and I benefited from your tutelage, even as a mate of yours, on an occasion when I was away and you had done an interim assessment for me, I have to say to you and to the audience that incident didn't occur. That incident is not correct, and I apologize for making that reference.
My question is, where did that even come from, Paul? I don't know. Where did that come from? How could you even think it? Because in our time, as you would agree, we didn't even used to take exams. It was all essays. So why did you even follow up with the taken explanation to sort of justify your claim? That's the bit I don't get.
It didn't occur. And I apologize for it, Robert.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Even as a mate of yours, on an occasion when I was away and you had done an interim assessment for me, I have to say to you and to the audience that incident didn't occur. That incident is not correct, and I apologize for making that reference.
My question is, where did that even come from, Paul? I don't know. Where did that come from? How could you even think it? Because in our time, as you would agree, we didn't even used to take exams. It was all essays. So why did you even follow up with the taken explanation to sort of justify your claim? That's the bit I don't get.
It didn't occur. And I apologize for it, Robert.
All right. Have a nice day.